Hi you guys, welcome to the YouTube channel. My name is Rebecca. I'm super excited to be here today and I hope you all are doing well. Today we are going over how you can change your carpeted room to a vinyl flooring for your home office just so that it's much safer. Sometimes the pins and needles will intertwine itself with the carpet and it makes it very dangerous. My family members often step on them when they come into my office, and even when I'm not here, I'll get like an angry text message or like a voice note fussing me out because somebody done stepped on a pen when they went into the office. But obviously if if you've already purchased a home, you can always just rip up the carpet in your room or whatever office you want to convert, whatever room you want to convert, and just lay down your flooring, whether it is tile or wooded flooring or vinyl, whatever it is you want to use. You could change it however, but when you're renting, you're limited to the modifications you can make in the home. So yeah, I changed it up. Just gotta make it work. So that's what I did. It's very easy to do. It wasn't hard. I think the hardest part for me was doing the transition or adding the transition into the carpet, because you have to drill into the concrete, and I don't know how many drill bits I went through. I think I went through probably 4, and the transition was so long that I didn't even do all the holes. I did not do all the holes because I was getting sick and tired of drilling into the concrete, and that part for me was hard, but everything else was pretty easy. Well, before we get started, I wanted to apologize to my Instagram fans because I went MIA for a hot minute. Okay, I'm sorry, forgive me. But from here on out, I do promise to be more consistent. Okay, I will be more consistent with my social media. During the time that I was away, however, I did focus on my Etsy shop. I made like over 1,000 sales, and I received like over 200 positive reviews, which is awesome. I also built the clientele list, which I'm also working on like 2 more wedding gowns. Once I get the okay from the clients, I will be posting the whole process on YouTube as well as Instagram. For the ones that stayed, I love you. For the ones that left, well, I'll see you later. I'm sure you'll be back. It's a small world. But yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started on how to change your carpeted room over. Here is the before and the after. So before you get started, the very first thing you should do is measure out the spacing that you are going to cover. Measure it out, and you're going to use some plywood. You can purchase it at Home Depot if you live in the States. Lay down your plywood, cut it according to how it's going to fit. So be sure to have all of that figured out prior to you getting into the room and trying to lay it down, because it's like putting a puzzle together. But the plywood should be at least 1/4 to a minimum of 3/4 of an inch. If this is going to go underneath your door, try to figure out the spacing from the bottom of the door to the carpet, because you'll have to pinpoint exactly how much clearing you have so that the door doesn't get stuck on top of the hardwood floor. Once you've laid it down, go ahead and tape your plywood. You're going to tape it in the cross sections. Now you are ready for your vinyl. As you can see here, I've already attached half of them already. So go ahead and measure the length that you need for your planks. Attaching them straight across. Attaching them vertically, so that you have the right length that you need. Now, once you cut it, that ending section needs to go back to the top. And for the first set of planks that you laid down, Be sure to have the flat edge facing the wall and the little tab that is supposed to be overlapping on the other side so that it adheres to the next plank. As you can see, the edges are slightly uneven. As long as your margin of error is less than a half an inch, you should be fine. It will all go underneath the transition, so it will not show anyway.
So when you're laying it down, you lay it down so that you find the exact measurement. As you cut, you're always going to have like a little piece left over, so always try to use what you have left over versus cutting off a new piece, because then you're going to end up running out and you'll create a lot of excess. So as you can see here, using 2 of these would be way too long. Let me step back so you can see it. Would be way too long, so you're going to have to cut it here. Right, you'll have to cut this length so that it adjoins to that one. But if you cut it here, you wouldn't be able to adjoin it because the cut edge has to go at the top, right? So what you're gonna do is, and this is a little flap that goes underneath to adjoin to the next coming piece. So what you're gonna do is flip it over. All right, flip it over. Slide this over a little bit so that they are parallel and even. Now that you have that measurement, you can go ahead and add like a light mark, just like a little cut mark, so that you can see where you need to make your line. Alright, so you find the little cut mark that you had made originally. You line up your L square ruler to the line and to the edge of the flooring plank panel, whatever it's called, and then you just make those little marks. You have to go over it a few times because this thing is pretty thick. From there, break it. And then you can just press it down. Whoa. Always make sure that the section that is cut off is flush against the wall. Show over here. You lengthen by overlapping one into the other.
And then you simply attach it to the other pieces that were already linked together. All it is a series of overlaps and, adjoining them. Be sure that the flat edge is at the top, the section where you cut, and also at the bottom edge. Once you attach them, sometimes they don't lay flat. So be sure to have a rubber mallet and you can hammer it into place.
Just try to get rid of any gaps because, that's going to hold dirt. You want it to be flat and flush like this. Avoid this. This is no bueno. Alright, you guys, so I am almost done. Right here to the edge, but as you can see, it does not fit. This edge, it actually needs to go like this so that this part here can fit on top of that. So when you're cutting it, you need to flip it upside down and go ahead and mark where it needs to go so that you're cutting this edge off and you have the proper spacing. Okay.
This is what it looked like once I was done with the flooring. But from that point, I had to cover the raw edge that met up to the wall. So I bought this triangular piece at Home Depot. I don't even remember how much it was. It was less than $10 though. And at first, I was screwing it into the baseboard, but then I got tired of doing that. So I went ahead and I grabbed some liquid nails and I laid that sucker down and glued it onto the onto the flooring, which it worked perfectly. Aside from there, I had to close the transition. So you lay the transition down, and then using a drill bit for concrete, you're going to drill through the transition, the wood flooring, the plywood, as well as the concrete. Once you've drilled the hole deep enough, then you can use a hand screwdriver to screw in the screw into the ground. Be sure to do this part by hand, because if you do it with the drill, there's a high possibility that you'll strip your screw and you won't be able to do anything from that point on, because sometimes the screw will break and it'll just get stuck in the hole. But that is it, folks. This is what it looks like in the end. I am very happy with what I did. I am not a professional with this thing, but I definitely made it work to my advantage, and I am in love with my results.